Hi, I'm Mark Mezzadori, and I'm here in Ashland, Oregon in the park. Just want to share downloads that have come in the last week from the angels and from talking to people about the election and the aftermath of the election. The main thing the angels are communicating is this is a period where nothing is missing, that everything we need to move forward personally and collectively is on the planet already, and that includes us. So if we think of this time as instigating this space where we are on a hero's journey, as articulated by Joseph Campbell. So the hero's journey involves an individual going outside of their comfort zone, going into exile, and then in learning during that time, and then encountering a crisis in which they use all of their powers. So there's a surrender in that of what has been known before, a surrender of old beliefs. So we see this in Star Wars, which is the best example of the hero's journey, where Luke uses the Force to destroy the Death Star. In the Matrix, Neo releases his ego and figures out how the Matrix works. And we see it also in Harry Potter, of him using love to conquer less than love. And so we also see this in individuals who have been alive, Joan of Arc, J.K. Rowling herself, and artists like Patti Smith, activists like Erin Brockovich. So people who have overcome something. This is what's being asked of us now, is to have our own private hero's journey and to indeed use all of our power, to activate all of ourselves right now. So if we think of this as a time to whip out the superhero cape and to be the superhero and to recognize things like curiosity is a superpower. So we're using all of ourselves right now to contend with what is happening on the planet. So if we think of this time as like the 1960s, where great art, great culture, great movements were created in response to a seeming oppositional force. And so what the angels are talking about is this a time where we have all the tools from that previous time, especially music. So we think of a blueprint already existing. That blueprint includes the music of the Doors, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones, and such, and different artists. So we have a sense of what is possible already. And in allowing that to be utilized right now, there's a sense in a space where we're not alone. So part of our time has been an impulse to isolate, to remove ourselves from other people, which goes against our nature. So we might have this sense of, well, I should love everyone, I should be connected with everyone, but I don't want to. So if we think of what that entails, ultimately, is the core belief that our safety is threatened. And so this period of time has been about safety replacing peace as a goal. My friend Jake has articulated that comfort comes into this. So people in this election might have well voted for their comfort level. So if we look at this election, not so much as being about the candidates, but about establishment versus anti-establishment. Because a lot of people are having the response of like, well, how could you vote for that guy? He hates people. But maybe it wasn't about that individual, that the candidates themselves mattered less than what is the opportunity that was presented. So in this space of looking at this like a blueprint of the 60s, what we get to do is to recognize all the power that we have now, all these tools, and put them together. That we're not in time of isolation, that we can. So basically, what do? We can focus on ourselves first, to get our heart centered, to get our home centered, to use our power of intention, support, prayer, peace, and intuition to get peace in our own hearts and in our own homes, to create stability, personal stability. And from that stability, we could use those same tools to let that ripple out into the world. So it causes us stress right now to think of the big world being chaotic, and how are we going to solve that? We solve that individually by getting our hearts together, to quote Jimi Hendrix, and to let that be a simple process. So this action gets us into flow, and flow and action relax us. It creates a flow space where serotonin is moving through your body and your brain, and letting a different space happen. So Neil Young has had a great quote in the last few weeks of saying that just because everything else is broken doesn't mean that I have to be broken. So if we take that to heart in terms of like, things are a little messed up right now. This is not a casual time, and no one's acting casually. This is a time, in essence, of crisis, but maybe we don't need to go into crisis with the crisis. We can really have stability within ourselves. And then, so what do we actually do? We could use our tools to ask for help, to use this a time to connect with our angels, our guides, connect with God, and to see those musicians from the 60s, the Jim Morrisons, the John Lennons, the David Bowies, and see, okay, what do you want me to tell me? To let them speak through their music to you, to have a sense of they have your back. And this time on the planet has existed before. And it's a matter of us actually learning from history to see the blueprint and to see it through in a different way, of more peace, more stability, more love, and more joy for our highest possible good. That this is a space where I'm noticing agitation happening, especially on Facebook and such, where people are going like, it's all going to work out, or offering criticism. There's a lot of aggravation happening. Maybe there's a space to let nature do its work, for us to step away from artificial or exclusively man-made environments and to encounter this, and to let this have its effect on us, and to let this inform us right now, that truly there's a space where everything is okay, and to look at what is being asked of us, to fully use all of our skills right now. So what will prayer offer us? What will guidance offer us? What will nature offer us? What do the angels want to tell you right now? There's a space for this to exist, and for all that to be simple. So I thank you so much for sharing this time, this video. I welcome your feedback to it. And also I have things on my site, downloads for free of clearing meditations and such that are here to help us out during this specific period of time. Meditations that are designed for clearing anything that's feeling like an adjutant to us right now. Also, if you'd like to work privately one-on-one, you can certainly contact me for that. Thank you so much for watching this video.